Drinkwitz is another one. That one too is an interesting game. I don't have a really strong feel of Missouri, Florida.
Well,
I mean, let's look at let's look at both these teams. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Sorry to cut you off, but I think
no,
this
you're
is
going to say what I was going to say.
well. Okay, Missouri looked good against Louisiana Tech for what it's worth. Looked like garbage at Kansas State. Looked like garbage against Abilene Christian. Darn near won at Auburn, and then just about pulled the upset of the decade against Georgia. Florida beat Utah, which you're seeing Utah now has snuck back into the top 5 of the computers. Lost to Kentucky at home. Darn near lost to a probably one of the 20 worst teams in the FBS. South Florida. Darn near came back and won in Knoxville and then took care of business against Eastern Washington the way it should have taken care of business. As I said before the season, Florida is a little bit of a rebuild. It needed a culture change. Anytime you get in with a new coach and a new way of doing things, sometimes it takes a while for those things to take root. I said from the start I would rather play Florida the first half of the season than last half. Well, we were almost to the second half of the season, and my goodness, I don't think that I don't think there's 2 SEC teams that have thrown up more contradictory pieces of evidence about how good they are or aren't than these two. I mean, I just got to help you figuring this one out this week. I'm
Well,
taking Florida to win, probably Florida cover, but I wouldn't put a penny on any of it.
here's the thing, Chris. Tyler said exactly what I said in the preview video this week. I said, here's the thing about Missouri is I just think we've seen so many instances of this before where a team just almost pulls off, like you said. One of the biggest upsets in SEC football history. That is not me being like, that's the team we had number 14 in our power rankings against the team we had number 1 in our power rankings. So you can debate whether they should have been there or not. But just from that gap in the SEC, we know over the years from the best team to the worst team, that's a big gap. But clearly Missouri is getting better. Like they're improving in some of these areas. They've been right there the last 2 games. But I just think after what happened in the Auburn game, now what happened against the Georgia game, like do they have? I worry like did they just come out completely flat here? And that's my thing here. And like you said, I don't want any part of this game from a. If I was a professional bettor, I wouldn't want anything to do with this one. But it is worth noting via covers that the under 4-0 Missouri this season, or in the last 4 games for Missouri. Florida, the under 5-1 in Florida's last 6 games in October. And Chris, to cap it off, the under 5-0 in the last 5 meetings between these teams. So everything trend wise tells you that the under is the best bet for this one.
Well, let me give you a little supporting evidence here for that. I don't know why I'm at such a loss for words tonight. That's not a good thing when you talk for a living. But do you want to know what the best kept secret I think is in the SEC this year? It's so
Besides,
secret you're not going to guess it.
well, hold on. Besides our YouTube channel?
Besides that,
No, I don't know.
Missouri's defense.
Well, we've talked about it a bit, I think.
Do you remember what kind of hot garbage Missouri's defense was a year ago? Do you remember
Yes. I
that
remember the Tennessee game
debacle?
vividly.
Oh my good! I mean, Tennessee is still scoring touchdowns against Missouri last year. Missouri this year, and again, this is taking sacks out of it, and just like if a play is supposed to be a pass play, then a sack counts. Every time Missouri tries or someone tries to run the ball in Missouri, 4.2 yards a carry against. That's very respectable. Pass plays, teams are only averaging 5.8 yards a pass play against Missouri. I bet you the percentage of people in the audience who would have guessed that would be about 0. Missouri's got 6 picks this year. Excuse me, it's thrown 6 picks. It's got 4, which is decent. Now, throwing picks has been an issue for Missouri's. I just kind of pointed out. But my point is look, everybody looks at Florida, Alabama, A&M like people do entire hour shows, and Missouri probably never comes up. We try to pay attention to everybody and everything. And that defense, not only in the stats, but when I watch them at times, has been very sneaky good. And we have talked about how erratic Florida's offense has been. Now, it has been better the last couple of games. I don't know if Anthony Richardson has turned a corner or if it's just called playing Eastern Washington and playing Tennessee. No disrespect to the Vols, but pass defense is not that team's strength. So I think that's still a mystery, but I think that Florida-Missouri game is probably getting glossed over. I think it's more intriguing than people think.
Well, the problem it runs into is that it's the number 3 game in the 3-game 11 a.m. Central kickoff slot in terms of LSU, Tennessee, and Mississippi State, Arkansas. So, look, I love me some ESPNU, Chris, but ESPNU has become the land of the we got to find a place to put this game.
Ocho.
And
it's the Ocho.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's. I think, like you said, I would expect this to be a lower scoring game. It seems like, given Missouri's defensive improvement, and I don't know, I just feel like this is kind of one of those grinded out type games for both teams, perhaps. But I'm curious to see what it does look like from that standpoint.